guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle video. So today we are looking at Blue Vegito. The 5th anniversary LRs are indeed getting their EZA. We're going to take a super quick early look at them. Now, there might be one change before the actual data download for these characters, but I don't expect it to happen. And that would be the transformation conditions. When they show the EZAs, they don't actually give us, the transformation condition, but the Blue Fusions already transform on turn 4. I just see no way they're going to lower that because they have their base form versions for a reason, right? I think they'll keep it at turn 4 for the transformation. I do not think that's going to change. And then remember, active skills cannot change at the moment. Maybe eventually down the line, but as of right now, active skills will never change. All right, so Vegito. This unit, I just sort of early looking at his details, I would kind of vaguely give him top 5, I would say, is about where I would put this Blue Vegito. I don't want to go too much higher or too much lower. I do think both of the 5th anniversary fusions here are crazy. In base, they made him quite a bit better, right? We were able to get much higher stats. We have a better chance to do the additional super attacks. And we also have a higher defense and a higher chance to dodge in base. Typically, I think using the 5th anniversary fusions in tough content right now, you probably will just float them off in base on their first turn. They'll have a 70% chance to dodge. They should be cooking. And then they'll return on their second turn and they transform into blue. And then they enter God mode, right? So let's just go ahead and start this out right here. See how good Vegito is. We could go ahead and take a look at his links real fast. So he has Saiyan Warrior Race, Brainiacs, Power Bestowed by God, Over in a Flash, Fuse Fighter, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power is his link set. He's gonna, share a lot more with the EZA Tech VB once we actually do transform with him on turn 4. So let's just go ahead and get as much key as we can right here. Yep, that's fine right there. So let's check defense. What is his defense at? So Vegito's defense is at 148. He gets 100% defense when attacking, so that's, basically going to double, right? And then he does also get 30% defense from every super attack he does. So if we think about this in very difficult content, we do probably, again, you want to float them in base. And then once they're in blue, they should be good enough to sit on main rotation. Now, Vegito, he gets 4 key when attacking, which we saw activate right there. And he does stack attack on every super attack he does in base. So every super attack we get in base like this, we are going to get that 30% attack stack. So he's going to be able to do even more damage. Remember that those stacks really matter too when accounting for the active skill damage, right? It gets a huge, massive boost. Now, the thing I guess I should point out too is that I do think that the active skills, we'll be able to see them, because in order to use it, all we have to do is have the enemy below 50% HP the turn after, Blue Vegito or Blue Gogeta transform, right? Now, remember, we also did finally, they, added OSTs to that, which is also just so crazy. Let's just put Gohan in slot 2, and then we'll go ahead and go like that. Just do as much damage as you can, and we'll get to this next turn. So the thing with these fusions, too, is that they are fulfilling a pretty big need, Blue Vegito and Blue Gogeta. If we look at the landscape of the game and just a lot of the teams and stuff like that, these guys are actually very well needed. I mean, let's just focus on Vegito. Superheroes, huge monster buff to a team that was sort of just created to be very good, right? Power Beyond Super Saiyan, right? Fuse Fighters needed the help. Final Trump Card is sort of like the anniversary celebration. It's like we just have massive, massive buffs that are coming in here for these categories, which is really good. Okay, so we'll put VB in slot 1 again right here. We're getting the support from the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He's giving Vegito 50% support. So we're going to have a lot of links active. We're going to get 50% support from Gohan. Let's see what we get right here. Again, remember that every super attack we are going to do is also going to stack attack, so that once he comes out in his blue transformation, the damage is going to be looking pretty good, right? And again, remember, in base, depending upon what fight you're in, you do probably want to rock Vegito just pretty much exclusively in slot 3. Certainly, if you get multiple turns of him in base, that means more super attacks to stack attack. That is definitely true. But I do think you're probably better off just, getting rid of them, and then they return in blue, and then you could, really sort of dominate. I do think key shouldn't really be too much of an issue. The Blue Fusions have always been pretty good in terms of their key mechanics to sort of help them out and allow them to get a lot of their super attacks off and stuff like that. Alright, so now on this next turn, when Vegito comes back, he's just going to auto-transform into blue, right? Which is going to be very helpful. I guess, let's turn the active skill skip on and then transform one of the gods real quick. And then we could just leave the two gods as a rotation. I think that'll be... Yeah, it's on. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so let's just transform one of the two gods. And then we'll leave them sort of on this rotation, just destroying. Yeah, we'll just put that one in slot 1 right there. And they should be able to blow this Vegito away. Okay, perfect. Alright, so on this next turn, blue is where these guys do start to get very, very ridiculous, right? The, you know, blue fusions. This first turn that Vegito is going to transform, he has guaranteed dodging. I think that this is one of the craziest things that they added to these blue fusions. Right now, the difficult content is really not that, like, long, right? These fights, I feel like, are sort of structured and grouped to mostly be wrapped up by, like, turn 7, turn 8. Like, these fights are not really lasting, like, forever and ever and ever and ever, right? So, the fact that you transform with the blue fusions and then we have guaranteed dodge the first turn, I mean, that's just incredible, right? Like, in the Shadow Dragon event, you know, Metal Cooler Core, a lot of these fights, right? Like, this is very likely to be the first turn we would get against, like, the Metal Cooler Core or something like that. All right, here we go. So now things are going to get crazy. Shoutouts to Energize, too, making this possible. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get that right there. Now, Blue Vegito, remember, we have guaranteed dodge here. We also do get an additional 5 key. We have everything active except for Legendary Power. We now have Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Power Bestowed by God, Over in a Flash, Fuse Fighter, Fierce Battle. All these are up, right? We're getting the huge key. Now, here's where Vegito can go super, super crazy, right? He's going to super attack. Then he gets a guaranteed additional super, right? And then he gets a 30% chance to do another super. We could potentially super in slot 3 if we were there, right? Remember, you can do shenanigans with the active skill too, right? You could utilize the active skill in turn 3, right? And then that would allow this passive to sort of work in other spots too. Now, there is a little bit of a build-up that we get with Blue Vegito, Blue Gogeta as well, but they build up a little bit, right? They get 1 key and 22% attack and defense with each attack performed. So right here, we just did 3. Here's 4. This is our first, like, look at this. Look at this. This is insane, right? And it's like he has guaranteed dodging on this turn. Just a quick 4 super attacks. We literally cannot be touched. And then, you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. We have the full stats passive buff already. Just immediately, within the blink of an eye, he's fully built up. We have 4 of the 5 key. So then now next turn, we are really, really going to be looking good because Vegito, he gets a guaranteed additional super at 24 key, right? A guaranteed additional super. So now on this next turn, we're going to be able to pop this with Vegito, and it's just going to be absolutely crazy. So yeah, let's just get as much key as possible with all of them right here. Do as much damage to this Vegeta as we can. Now, where I put Vegito here, this 5th anniversary Blue Fusion, it is very difficult. I probably would have him, again, just sort of vaguely in the top 5. I would need to sort of see more, but we've just had so many repeated buffs for a lot of these teams, a lot of these setups, that I do think Vegito is just going to come out and he's just going to completely dominate a lot of these bosses, and it's just going to be very... What he does is just going to be very, very ridiculous. I think that Vegito is up there with one of the best units in the game. He's probably better than AGL LR Gohan, and probably like Vegeta and Trunks and the Tech Carnival Goku and the AGL Carnival Goku. Like, the 5th anniversary fusions are probably both above that level. Like, I think we're talking more so about the 5th anniversary fusions, I think, competing with, like, Orange Piccolo and, like, the 8th anniversary main LRs, than we are sort of like that group of like stacking defensive guard characters I kind of like as well. You know, again, Vegeta and Trunks in them. I think Vegito is just that crazy. So let's put Vegito in slot 1 right here. So on this rotation, let's go ahead and see what our key is. So, okay. So we're at 500k defense. Now, every super attack Vegito does, the 12 keys give him 50% attack and defense. Then his 18 key gives him 50% defense for 3 turns. So it's like when he's doing 3 and 4 super attacks, he's getting 30% defense every single time he supers, right? Like, it very fast, this guy's defense is just going to get very, very, very ridiculous. I do want to get him the 24 key right here. Let's just use items and just get him the full 24 key. Just pop all these key items, and then let's let Vegito just go to work here. And we'll sort of see how much damage he is going to be able to put out. This is fine right here, because now he does get the 5 key when attacking, so he's going to be at 24 key. So, alright, let's see what Vegito looks like right here. He is fully built up. We got support. You know, hopefully he gives us a bunch of super attacks, and then this Vegeta is just going to get torched real quick. Alright, so he gets to 16.7. I mean, it's crazy. Like, we don't even have, like, you know, like a B-Pan active or anything like that, and he just does this. And then guaranteed additional super. And then don't forget, we have 1 more guaranteed additional coming in. He has the other super that's a medium chance. We can get the hidden potential system additional. Right now, his defense, as we're supering, you know, his defense eventually blowing past 1,000,000. Like, there you go. This is what this Vegito does. Between his guaranteed dodge, his build up, everything this guy has, I think the 5th anniversary fusions are just way too good. They're right up there as some of the best units in the game. Let me know what you guys think, but the 5th anniversary fusions are just, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.